we have to understand that we are living in a technological moment where technology grows exponentially while human institutions grow logarithmically. Okay? Which means that our social norms and our cultural norms and the institutions we design for this grow at a much slower pace. And to the point where we can't effectively catch the potentials of technology. So what we're seeing right now is we are constantly trying to catch up on technologies that have radically changed our lives. And then as they grow in adoption, we start looking at negative aspects of their adoption. Sometimes we're sort of a pendulum we socially swing from euphoric, oh my God, I can do this new stuff with my technology, right? To paranoid, oh my God, this technology is going to, kill us or invade us or, supplant us. Take your pick, right? And we keep swinging back and forth. That is the natural process of understanding of any technological system. Except that right now, we're seeing that with a much greater degree of frequency. So if we start discussing the technological adoption on both ends of the spectrum, I think we're not having an objective discussion. And unfortunately, when it comes to technology, most of the discussions center at both ends of the spectrum. Either you have people that are all for the technology or you have people that are all against the technology. The challenge is, how do you get an objective discussion around it so that you start designing the social framework to effectively extract the greater amount of social value from the technology that you put in place, while trying to put layers of control for the negative things that can happen, for the negative externalities. So privacy is a very good example. Our fear of privacy is that we effectively encode an intelligent technological system that automates Big Brother. That's the fear. Especially when you have a strong state and you have a weak society, that combination is very dangerous, as history very well shows us. In urban studies, there's a Jane Jacobs concept of eyes on the street. And eyes on the street is, you have the people in a community that they are eyes on the street. They're seeing who is coming around, what is happening. They're more familiar with conditions on the ground. And that is very important knowledge that you can use to improve the lives and the conditions of the society that live in that space, live in that place. So for me, a more interesting question, rather than say, ooh, it's technology, bad for privacy intrusion, good for privacy intrusion, or is it bad for privacy, but we can also do this ABC cool new stuff and application? The larger question is, no, hold on. We are on a path, we are on a vector of, absorbing and absorbing and absorbing more and more and more technology, right? Technologies that could invade privacy, it's a very clear current example of that. The real question is, how do we transition from George Orwell's Big Brother to Jane Jacobs' eyes on the street? Because clearly the technology can work at both ends. That is a mindset, right? At some point you have to think about what you're making and think about what are the potential conflicting points for its adoption in society, right? And then when you really work the problem is, oh, okay, so people are afraid of this, people are afraid of this, people are afraid of this. What are the possible combinations of solutions? Okay? And then what you do is you have an open discussion about it. Okay, guys, here is the benefit you're getting, here is the trade-off. And to me, that's a much more reasonable discussion to have. Whereas you're talking about privacy, whereas you're talking about job displacement, which is another big one of our times, right? Whether you're talking about basically data value, whether you're talking about manipulation, all of those are very sensitive topics, but to discuss them at the ends of the pendulum, in my personal view, I don't think it will do us much good as a society.